I want to share a story with you guys really quick. So I grew up in an Italian family, and they had a big Italian restaurant, and they would have these huge weddings. I mean, massive. 500-600 people at a wedding, upstairs and downstairs. And the bands would set up. And there was a band setting up for one of the weddings. And I would tend bar. There would be an open bar, cash bar sometimes, an open bar, and we're setting up the bar. The band sets up. I work the first set, and they are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, they were something that you'd see in some kind of a production house. They were phenomenal, great singers, looked fantastic. They were great. So the next wedding comes up, so they would do a doubleheader. So the next wedding's coming up, and the other band's setting up. And it was a totally different experience. Like, there were 3 guys. I remember the name of the bar, the band. It was actually called the Don Quixote Trio. Not making that up, okay? And they set up, and you could just tell, like, their shirt was kind of untucked when they're setting up. They were out of breath. One of the guys got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. A lot of duct tape on the equipment, the whole 9 yards. And they were fun, and they were good, but they weren't great. Like, you didn't walk away from that and go, wow, that was phenomenal. These guys were okay. And I remember asking my dad, I said, Dad, these guys totally different. And I'm probably 17, 18 at the time. Totally different experience. And he said, well, the first band, they're pros, they're professionals. He said, but the second band, they're amateurs. And I said, Dad, what's that mean? What do you mean by that? Like, amateurs? Like, they obviously get paid. And he said, well, the difference is this, Joe. He said, an amateur performs based on how they feel. And a professional performs at their best regardless of how they feel. So, great lesson from my dad, God bless him, and I want to share that with you guys. When you show up at the office, when your staff shows up at the office, when your team is ready to rock and roll, this is a deciding factor between your success and your failure, or living the extraordinary rather than the ordinary. And you know what it is? Are you showing up as a pro? Meaning that, listen, let's all be honest. Some days you come in the office, you don't really feel like being there, right? There's certain things you don't feel like doing. So if you don't feel like doing them and you still do it, are you doing it at your best, or are you performing like you're like an amateur? So the difference is this: perform at your best regardless of how you feel. They deserve it, you deserve it, your team deserves it, your community deserves it, the profession deserves it, the principle of chiropractic deserves it. The point is, don't live your life based on whether you feel like it or not. They don't build statues after Dr. Feel Like It. When they look at monuments and statues and they're chiseling something out of stone, what that person had that so many people don't, they were able to do something far beyond and whether they felt like it or not. And by disciplining themselves, by having a purpose, a mission, by having a why that was so big, they were able to do extraordinary things. And here's the beauty: you're capable to do extraordinary things too. So every day when you get to that office, every day when you wake up out of bed, every day when you're working that weekend, think about that. Am I acting like an amateur, or am I acting like a pro? What needs to be done? And when you do it at your best regardless of how you feel. And by creating that habit, you have nothing that can happen other greater success for you and your family. Hey guys, I'm Dr. Joe Borio, founder of Chiropassion Consulting, and I know you're like, wow, the content of this video is phenomenal. I'd like to get more of that. Well, you can. We got a big event. It's our annual event every year, Fort Lauderdale, and it's called the Chiropassion Consulting Practice Mastery Summit. It's got to be important with a name like that, right? And listen, we're going to start Friday, November 3rd, 4:30, absolutely off the rails. We got 5 phenomenal speakers, all chiropractors, killing it in practice. We're going to talk about growing your day 1, your day 2, your day 3, your checkups, how to grow greater wealth, how to grow greater freedom. That's the new wealth nowadays, isn't it? Having some freedom in your life. We're going to show you how to have more fun, not that you're not having fun, how to train your staff. We're doing a CA breakout all day Saturday. It's going to be phenomenal. So it's going to be Friday, 4:30 to 9. We're having a Hawaiian party afterwards. You're invited, okay? And then we're going all day Saturday and it's going to be fantastic. We're going to have a panel discussion. We're going to talk about every nugget we can give you to make sure when you leave that event, you know what's successful for me? You go to your office on Monday and you can kick some serious ass. That's what I'm shooting for. So listen, hit the registration link above, hit the link below, register you and your team for a doctor to go. For one doctor is $199. Oh, it's like I'm giving it away. I'm giving it away to you guys. And I'd love for you to get around the other docs in Chiropassion, spend some time. Let's celebrate what we all love. Let's get excited about it. Let's elevate our culture, our community, our language, our communication. Let's have a riot. Let's have some fun. I can't wait to meet you. Don't forget, November 3rd and 4th, register, bring a few docs, bring your team. You don't want to miss it. I can feel a change happening, a shift already. You don't want to miss it. We want to be these people right here, right? They deserve us to be at our best. Okay, love and appreciate you guys. See you in Fort Lauderdale.